1, 2, 3. Here we are heading into the 23-24 season. Everything has evolved in college athletics. How do you navigate that world? What do you do in the recruiting process to keep that the main thing?
I think you stay consistent with your values and your core.
Yep.
Like what got you there, I think it's hard to do because it's always evolving. I think our culture speaks for itself, and you can feel that when you step on campus. But it's hard. I wouldn't say it's easy by any means. I think it's something.
It hasn't gotten easier.
No, it hasn't gotten easier. That's for sure. Obviously, winning and losing is part of what we do, but I think you're definitely going to win more if you get the right student athletes in that represent your team.
And maybe you have to work a little harder at it right now because you want to weed out and you want people picking Drexel for the right reasons. You can start with our mascot, and it's not is a dragon one thing or another, but we're one of one. And I want to be one of one for a lot of other reasons too, not just our mascot. So everybody isn't a fit. How often do you listen to your players when there's an official or unofficial visit and they're around? I give you an example. We had a guy on an unofficial visit, and whether he was on his phone or just wasn't totally connecting with our group, our players come and say, "Hey coach, I don't know if that guy's the right kind of fit." I love that because that means they're kind of protecting our culture a little bit. I think that means the world when they can see what we're looking for. Do you use your players as resources in that way sometimes?
Definitely. I think that's Kashana Washington, who just obviously finished her career here. She'll say, she was like, "I've left this program in good hands. Like, I want to see where you take
Right.
it." And I think the short-term decisions can sometimes affect you long-term. So I always remind myself of that. I feel like sometimes there's speed dating going on with recruiting, and I definitely don't like that piece of it. The opinions of your players do matter, especially when they've been in the program. And they take so much pride in it. I think that's really important too.
Yeah. Leadership shared, right? And I think when you can have your players feel like they've got maybe a little bit of a say in things, I think it creates for a better daily culture. We talk about there's recruiting battles, right? And it's us with another school, whatever. And I say, listen, I'm not battling another school. When I'm talking to you, I'm going to win the battle for transparency of any coach that you communicate with. And I'm going to tell you, there are going to be hard days, right? And you can come in my office on any great day and celebrate, and I'll be fired up for you. But the real test will be on your hard days. Do you feel comfortable coming into our office, talking with myself or our staff, and helping you get through those things? Because we try and talk about, come here and grow and be a part of something and look at the end product, right? So I think there are championships, but there's also, we're trying to grow people no matter what the end result is, win or loss, that they're going out and doing some pretty special things.
We talk about A to Z, but I think, my reminder is sometimes we want to go A to Z with our players, and it's like, we got to get them to B, and that process is different for each student athlete, each player, and just the opportunity to have a player for a year, for 2 years. I used Tessa Brugler as an example. She was a Bucknell grad, but then had her last year, she had a COVID year, and she came here for a year. And I said it was truly a gift to the program to have her for a year. But before I could even say that, she said to me it was a gift that she was here. And I feel like when you can bring somebody in and they get that concept of what the program's about with a short period of time, you feel like you've done your job and they get it, And I think we both take a lot of pride as coaches in developing our players as people, on and off the court, and as leaders, in those areas. So I feel like that's something, again, it changes for every single person, but it's something that, to me, is going to continue to evolve with the amount of time we have. So tell me your feelings on that. I know it's...
Well, I think we're in a unique time. And I think as coaches, we have to adapt to what the landscape and the environment allows and you can do without sacrificing the uniqueness of Drexel and our program. And we always talk about gratitude, respect, compete. Just because you're only here for a year, you don't have to do that. That would drive me nuts. Right? And, we've held guys accountable in that way, and they've responded. And I think that's the important part is whoever comes to be a part of our program for whatever that time frame is, they're going to be themselves, but it's also going to stick to the values that we're about. And I think we both kind of share that in that way.
I agree.
Right?